Hello, my name is Esty Sherbeck, and today I will be discussing hypersexuality, informally known as a sex addiction. The definition for a sex addiction was coined by Robert Wise, who is the director of the Sexual Recovery Institute in Los Angeles. He defined a sex addiction as a dysfunctional preoccupation with sexual fantasy, often in combination with the obsessive pursuit of casual or non-intimate sex, pornography, compulsive masturbation, romantic intensity, and objectified partner sex for a period of at least 6 months. A sex addiction is categorized as a process or behavioral addiction in the field of psychology. A process addiction means that the individual has an inevitable compulsion to engage in a behavior or activity regardless of the consequences that the behavior has on the individual's mental health and physical health, as well as their home, family, and community. A process addiction is similar to gambling or a shopping addiction. While engaging in the behavior, the individual may feel a certain high or adrenaline rush, although after they are done having sex, they may feel guilty and regret their actions. Sex is necessary for the continuation and survival of the human population. But sex can be taken too far when an individual will go out of their way and to extreme levels to satisfy themselves. An individual with a sex addiction will go out of their way to relieve their desire without any respect to friends or social interactions. Once their brain rewires itself to understand that they can only be completely satisfied and receive that dopamine release from sex and not from spending time with friends, they will no longer need their friends and disregard them. In the US, about 12 million people are affected by a sex addiction. This is approximately equivalent to the size of 4 LA counties, which has a population of 3 million people each. When most people think of sex addicts, they think about a male having this issue. Typically, people do not think that females are affected by this condition. Surprisingly enough, for every 3 males who are sex addicts, there is 1 female who's also addicted. Because such a low number of females have a sex addiction, they are less likely to seek help because they are ashamed and simply end up suffering from their addiction. Another component of sex addiction is that more time is spent thinking about sex, planning out when you will have sex, pursuing sex, and the intimacy behind the sex than actually participating in the sexual act itself. Such a large amount of time is spent occupied by sexual thought takes a toll on the individual's life and is what separates those who have an addiction to sex from those who simply enjoy sex. Having a sex addiction also means spending copious amounts of money to remedy the urge to have sex. This can include, but is not limited to, spending money on porn, strip clubs, prostitutes, sex subscriptions, and other sexual services. With hundreds of dating apps that cater to those who are straight, gay, lesbian, transsexual, and more, meeting up with an individual to relieve any sexual urges is now easier than ever. Engaging in sexual activities through a dating app is a dangerous tool that is too easily accessible for those who have an addiction. Individuals who have a sex addiction and are married may drive their family apart as a consequence of not seeking treatment and healing options for their condition. Family bonds may be irreversibly severed, with children also being affected. In addition to losing any children during a divorce custody hearing, the children may also lose any respect or trust that they had for their parents. There are treatment programs that directly target sex addiction and are extremely helpful in allowing the individual to fully recover. Treatment involves reteaching a more appropriate behavioral response when it comes to sex and how to handle any triggers that they may have. The support of family and close friends throughout the treatment and recovery process is vital so that the individual has continuous support and does not relapse. Thank you for listening to this video about sex addiction. If you are struggling with this or know someone who is, please call the mental health treatment hotline at 1-800-662-HELP. Thank you.